Hello, welcome to Selvin Student 101. In case you didn't watch my previous video where I introduced myself, my name is Selvin Selbaraju, I'm from London, and I'm currently studying economics at Cambridge and I'm about to go into my second year. I've made this vlog series because a lot of people have asked me on advice about how to manage their time effectively because they feel like I've managed to do a lot of activities while still having a lot of academic success. So with this vlog, I hope to help everyone study effectively, manage their time properly, and thus be able to do a wide variety of things while still getting top grades and going to a top university. Okay, so of my top 10 tips, the most important thing, number one, is that you need to be able to enjoy yourself at the same time. There's no point putting an insane amount of hard work in and only doing work, not seeing your friends, not seeing your family, and just being stuck in your room all day working because you want to do the best that you can in your exams and just not enjoy yourself. There is no point doing that. You just need to learn to study effectively, because you can study effectively, still do really well in school, and still do lots of enjoyable things at the same time. So do not get carried away with studying. Make sure that you enjoy yourself. That is the most important thing. So my second tip is, figure out what you want in the long term and do whatever you can to realistically achieve it. And what you're going to need to do is, you're going to have to separate your tasks into what you'll have to do to achieve your goal and the things in the short term that you would like to do, which are enjoyable in like small doses. So a lot of the time, the things that we have to do, we don't want to do them at all, especially things like homework or revising. In these instances, once you start, it's actually much easier to keep going. But starting is always the hardest bit. So my main tip for starting something that you have to do when you really don't want to do it is literally just say in your head, 3, 2, 1, and just go and do it. Don't think about anything else. Just say 3, 2, 1 in your head and go and do it. I promise you that if you follow that mindset, you will do a lot more of the things that you have to do much more often, because you normally have to end up wasting a lot of time procrastinating. Oh, should I do this now, or should I just do something small to enjoy myself now? But if you just say in your head, 3, 2, 1, I'll go and do what I have to do, and then once I've done that, I can just enjoy myself for the rest of the evening. So just follow that, really. So my third tip is, start preparing early, use your free time effectively, and be organised and neat. So what this means is, instead of waiting till the end of the year to start doing some revision, instead, spend about 10 minutes for every lesson that you have, and just go over all the new material and jot down any questions you have for the teacher. Because this way, you'll commit it to memory, so when you actually get to the end of the year, you won't have to revise as much, because you'll kind of think, oh yeah, actually this is like that. And it'll kind of just come to you without really having to think about it. And it means you have to revise less in the future, and who doesn't want that? When I mean using your free time effectively, I mean that all the time that you spend not doing homework or not eating, going over these lessons should be a part of that free time. And I feel like it should be something you do before you wind down for the evening, while you're still a bit more focused and not as tired. So when I say use your free time effectively, I mean don't just binge watch a series all evening. Make sure you do this small bit of studying in the evening before you do those things. And that way, you've managed to commit some knowledge to memory, which will help you do better in exams and thus go to a better university. And you're still having some free time to enjoy yourself. Lastly, when I say be organised and neat, I mean make sure that you don't forget things. You don't have to borrow something off the teacher or your friends. And when I mean be neat, I mean make sure that your notes are legible to at least yourself, and that your working or your diagrams are legible for the teacher, because that's just good exam practice. Because if the examiner can't read your writing, he's just gonna think, nah, I'm not bothered. Just like, I'll give it a low mark. So when you can, be neat and organised, because it's gonna really help in the future. Okay, so tip number 4, I think is very important, and so many people don't do it, even though I feel like you really should. And that is, just make sure that you listen in lessons. Because by simply listening in lessons will mean that all the knowledge will just come to you a lot faster, and you'll pick up things and understand them a lot quicker, so that when you have to revise them, you already know them and you can spend less time revising them, and thus you can enjoy your revision season more, especially when it gets really stressful. And also, don't be afraid to ask the teacher for help, especially because I've always felt that people have known me as a really clever guy, and I feel like I don't want to seem weak and ask the teacher questions. But if I don't understand something, it's probably to everyone's benefit that I ask my question, because if people already know it, it might be a slight waste of time for them, but it could give them some clarification. If they also don't know it, then they get an answer to a question, and then also I get an answer to my question, and thus it's kind of a win-win situation for everyone mostly. So do not be afraid to ask questions in class. There is no reason why you should be. Don't care about what other people think. Just ask those questions if you have them. This last tip is something that I see a lot, even now. So basically, this tip is, don't brag about being lazy. I really don't understand this. I don't understand how some people brag about how, oh, I haven't done any work. Oh, I've left this work till the last minute. Oh, I put no effort into this. How can you brag about being lazy and putting no effort in? That is not a good thing. And secondly, don't brag about all the work that you've done. Especially if you start implementing all these tips I've done and you start having a lot more success, don't brag about it. Because people hate braggers, especially when they themselves are not in a good situation. But another tip here is, if someone asks you how something went, don't lie about it. If you think it went well, tell them calmly and humbly, I think that went quite well for me, and don't go into any more detail. Only do that if someone asks you. Don't just, without anyone asking, say, oh yeah, that exam was really easy. Oh yeah, look, I got 4 marks on this test. Don't do that. Don't brag when you do well. But if someone does ask, be honest with them and tell them. Don't be afraid to show off your achievements, but don't show them off. Don't flaunt them. Just simply state them, and that's it. So that's tip number 5. I think I'm going to split this video into 2 parts, because unfortunately I'm really busy at the moment because I've recently started a internship, so I'm finding it quite difficult to be able to make these videos. So this is the first part. I hope these first 5 tips are good. I'm going to hopefully make a video with the last 5 parts, or sorry, 5 tips sometime this weekend or next week. And I really hope that you find these tips helpful. And if you do find them helpful, just give me a like, subscribe, comment something that you found helpful, comment something that you didn't find so helpful. I can try and explain a bit better. But yeah, I really hope that you come back and watch my next 5 tips and my videos in the future. Thank you.